did you realize your mom wasn't the person you thought she was? I was 23 when I found out who she really was, and that realization rewrote my entire childhood in one awful night. My mom, Claire, was my best friend growing up, the kind of mom other kids wish they had. She packed handwritten lunch notes that said, "You're my sunshine," and always made pancakes, shaped like animals on Sundays. She came to every spelling bee, every art fair, every dentist appointment. She'd clap the loudest, smile the widest, and whisper, "I'm so proud of you, Peanut," like it was a secret only we shared. Dad left when I was 6. She told me he just wasn't ready to be a family man. That was it. End of story. Whenever I asked questions, she'd sigh and say, "Some people can't handle responsibility," and I believed her. We didn't have much money, but she made everything look effortless, scraping by on her nursing job, working nights, and still finding time to make my Halloween costumes by hand. I used to brag that she was a superhero. When she was diagnosed with breast cancer last year, I dropped everything to move back home. I handled her treatments, her medications, her appointments. She kept saying she didn't want to be a burden. I kept saying she wasn't. After her last chemo session, I started organizing her paperwork, insurance forms, old bank statements, the usual. That's when I found it. A thick envelope at the bottom of her filing cabinet labeled Private Legal. Inside were court documents, sealed custody orders, dated the same year Dad left. But the name on the documents wasn't my dad's. It was mine. Petition for adoption, filed by Claire Anderson. Biological mother, deceased. Biological father, unknown. My entire body went cold. I thought it had to be a mistake. I flipped through the rest: birth certificate, amended records, legal filings. Every one of them confirmed the same thing. Claire wasn't my biological mother. She had adopted me when I was 6 years old. The woman I'd spent my whole life calling Mom wasn't lying about my father. She was lying about herself. When I confronted her that night, she was sitting on the couch in her old robe, sipping tea like any other evening. "Mom," I said, my voice shaking, "who am I?" She closed her eyes. "You're my daughter." "No," I said, holding up the papers. "Who am I really?" Her cup trembled slightly before she set it down. "You were my sister's little girl," she whispered. "Your mother, my twin, she wasn't well." Could barely breathe. She told me my real mom, Elise, struggled with addiction for years. She'd lost custody of me after an overdose. When she died in a car crash, the state was going to put me in foster care. Claire said she did what she had to do. "She wanted you to have a chance," Claire said, her voice breaking. "I didn't want you growing up defined by her mistakes. I thought if I raised you as my own, you'd never have to carry that weight. But you lied to me my whole life," I said. "You let me think my dad abandoned us." Her face crumpled. "I couldn't tell you without telling you everything, and I was terrified you'd see me as the woman who stole her, sister's child, instead of the one who saved her." We sat in silence for a long time. The clock ticked. The tea went cold. She finally whispered, "There are letters. From Elise, I kept them for you." She led me to her bedroom, opened a cedar box from her dresser. Inside were dozens of letters, written in messy, looping handwriting. Birthday wishes, missed Christmases, apologies, promises. "Be kind like your Aunt Claire," one said. "She's stronger than I ever was." I read them until dawn, my tears blurring the ink. In every word, I could feel my real mother's regret and my adoptive mother's love. Two women, both broken in different ways, both trying to protect me. When I finally looked up, Claire was asleep in her chair, the morning light spilling across her face. She looked older than I'd ever noticed. I realized then that love isn't always honest, but sometimes it's still enough. I called Elise's old rehab center later that day. They gave me the number of her sponsor, who told me she'd saved every picture Claire sent of me, every report card, every scrap of my life. I didn't know what to feel: anger, grief, gratitude, probably all of it. But for the first time, I understood that my family wasn't built on blood or truth. It was built on desperate, imperfect love, and somehow that had to be enough.